Welcome to SABM Training and Consulting, the Professional Accounting School. My name is Bolaji, and I want to take you through the training that we are going to be conducting any moment from now. So the training is on financial reporting. So we are going to be training accountants and those who are probably members of accounting body, but they actually do not know how to prepare financial statement or how to interpret financial statement. So this what this training is going to center on. As I said earlier, my name is Bolaji and I'm a professional accountant. I'm a member of Association of Certified Chartered Accountants, that is ACCA, and I have been preparing financial statements for years. After my national youth service in 2005, and I have been preparing financial statements for corporation with for many companies, and with turnover of millions of dollars or billions of naira. So I will be the one training you. I'll be the one training you, and will also be joined with my other colleagues. So the training will be for 6 days. And what we're going to be doing on the first day is to teach you how to prepare financial statement. So we're going to take you through the steps of preparing financial statement. The first thing to do while preparing financial statement. And so we'll start with a simple example, and we are going to go take it complex so that you see the kind of financial statement. Are you able to prepare the kind of financial statement that you prepare real life? Then, if you are able to prepare financial statement, definitely you should be able to come up with the content of financial statement, which is the income statement, the statement of financial position, the statement of cash flow, and the statement of changes in equity. So these are the major statements of financial statement. So once you are able to learn the steps and what you need to do in coming up with these statements, then you'll be good. So that will be the first thing we'll do, and that's what we are going to do the first day. The second day, we'll now start looking at the components of financial statements. So those elements of financial statement that mostly accountants find it difficult to get the value and present it appropriately in financial statement. So we'll be looking at non-current assets, how to recognize non-current assets, when to recognize non-current assets, how to value non-current assets, depreciation of non-current assets, and so on. Then we'll look at financial instruments. We're going to look at the equity and the debt financial instruments, because these are very common items on financial statements of big corporations. Then we're going to look at leases. So both in the book of the lessor and the book of lessee. Then the employee benefits and income tax. So these are also areas that used to give many accountants problem. So how do you accrue benefits due to employee and also income tax? So we'll do this on the second day. On the third day, we're going to be looking at provisions, contingencies, and events after the reporting period. So we're going to look at what we can make provision for, and look at example of making provisions for items and the financial statements. So what are the conditions that are supposed to be met before we can make provisions? Then we'll look at contingencies and also events after the reporting period. the events after the reporting period, is it going to be an adjusting event, or the one that will not be an adjusting event? Adjusting events are the one that's going to affect the financial statement that we have prepared, so we are going to adjust it. And meanwhile, other events might be that we are not going to adjust the financial statement, but we are just going to state the events in the notes to the account. So we are also going to look at share-based payments. So this is where companies are paying for items received in shares or in cash, or also a situation where the options will be given to either payment will be made with shares or cash. We will look at fair value measurements, because in recognizing items in financial statements, assets, liabilities, even income and expense, it has to be at fair value. So how do you get fair value of an asset? For instance, how do you measure it? It is to be measured, in simple terms, at values that is at arm's length between two parties. Then we'll look at reporting for small scale business, which is where standard allows small scale business to deviate a little from the standard that is applicable to other companies. Then on day 4, we are going to be looking at consolidation of financial statements. So consolidation of financial statement is where parent companies are actually preparing a group account, which includes its own account, that's the parent account, and the subsidiary, that is the company that they control, the company that they have 50% shares and above 50% and above shares. Then we will also look at associates. So associates are investments that companies has made where they have shares that can be said that have which can make the parent company to have significant influence or not control. So how do you treat it in account? It's actually different from treating a subsidiary. Then we'll also look at changing in group structures. So there might be existing structure where parent company has to prepare group accounts based on existing structure. But when the structure change, maybe when company increase its shares in an associate company, so and now an associate becomes a subsidiary, or when a company dispose its shares in companies that it controls. So how do you adjust that and ensure that the new financial statement reflects the new structure? Then we're also going to be looking at foreign transactions and how to reflect it in the financial statement. Then on the 5th day, we'll be looking at business performance appraisals. So how do you analyze the performance of the company over a period of time? So we look at ratio analysis majorly, and we're going to look at both vertical analysis and horizontal analysis. I'm also going to look at many other ratios, which is going to tell the users of the account how the business has performed for the year. Then on the 6th day, we'll be looking at non-financial performance indicators. So which are factors that can affect the company positively and negatively, and which cannot be seen directly from the face of financial statement. So they are called non-performance indicators. So as an accountant, or as a consultant, or as a financial analyst, for you to be able to advise your client about the performance of the company, you should be able to know both indicators, both factors that cannot be seen directly from the face of a financial statement. So we look at things like sensitivity analysis and scenario analysis. Then we look at the case study, specific example. We're going to look at a company we are going to analyze the financial statement of that company, and we'll look at other factors that affect the company that is not visible from the face of the financial statement. So who are those that are expected to attend this training? We have professional accountants who actually, they might also be a member of a accounting body, but probably they are not too comfortable preparing financial statements. They might not have had years of experience like myself preparing financial statement for company. So there are a lot of other accountants also who are members, but as I said, they don't have long years of experience. Some have long years of experience working as accountants, but not really preparing financial statement. Maybe in a big company, they are just in charge of payroll. Some are just maybe in charge of receivables. Some people might be working maybe as an internal audit, looking at control, not actually sitting down preparing financial statement. So they might need they will need this training to ensure that they can look at financial statements as an accountant and be able to analyze it, interpret it, and knows also the contents of those statements. Then auditors definitely you find it difficult to audit financial statement that you don't understand. So if you cannot know how those figures come up, you will find it difficult to be able to detect if there's a misstatement in the account. So auditors will also benefit attending this training. There were accountants without accounting professional qualifications. So those people who are preparing accounts, but they are not members of any professional accounting body, and probably maybe they are planning for it, but their role require them to prepare account, to interpret account. So they will also benefit. Then business managers are those that are responsible. Managers are responsible for preparing accounts, but they just have to delegate this duty to accountants. So if you are a manager, you're supposed to understand accounts, especially interpreting it. You might not need to know how to prepare accounts in details like accountants, but you need to know how to interpret account. You need to understand the figures in the financial statement. You need to understand what it means, the effects of changes in this figure, so that when you receive account, you will be able to ask your accountant questions, and when you are defending the account before the investor, before the shareholders, the owners of the company, you will be confident in presenting the financial statement. Then CFOs of companies who might not be the one preparing account, but they are in charge of finance. So the chief accountant is under them, but they are coordinating everything finance, not only preparing account. So they will need this if they don't have that experience of preparing the accounts. So they will also benefit attending this account. So this training. So I will advise you to register as early as possible. Contact address is what you are seeing on the screen now. You can call us, you can send email, or you can visit our website and or come to our address. Our address is at Area 11 Garki, Abuja. There is also a link on our website where you can tell us what you actually want, the time you want, then other requirement that you might need. Maybe you will want your own training online, or you want to come to class. So the two are available. Then if you provide that, we'll contact you and let you know. Also, you might want a private class. Maybe you don't want to be in a group of other students, maybe giving your own schedule, or because that's just what you want. So just let us know in email. You can send out also email, and we are going to contact you. So thank you very much, and see you in the class.